The Labor Day sales event is happening now at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall. Take advantage of huge savings on our entire inventory, including Dodge Challengers and Chargers, Jeep Wranglers and 4xe electric Jeeps, and of course, tons of Ram trucks at America's largest Ram Truck Center, Ram of the West. We can also pre-order the specific vehicle you're looking for direct from the factory. So come by Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall or shop online at hunterdodge.com.
SoCal College sports football here at Antelope Valley College, Victor Valley in town to take on the Marauders. 6 p.m. kickoff here at Marauders Stadium. We'll have it for you. Stick around. Okay, when I get going real loud, you're going to break up. You know what Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If I'm at Unity Gain here and I get going real loud, remember, I'm going to be louder than I know. But I'm giving you a level so you can kind of hear it and see. I mean, we probably need to be yeah.
The Labor Day sales event is happening now at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall. Take advantage of huge savings on our entire inventory, including Dodge Challengers and Chargers, Jeep Wranglers and 4xe electric Jeeps, and of course, tons of Ram trucks at America's largest Ram Truck Center, Ram of the West. We can also pre-order the specific vehicle you're looking for direct from the factory. So come by Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall or shop online at hunterdodge.com.
It's week 2 of SCFA football as a pair of American Division teams square off, each looking for their first win in 2021 as the Victor Valley Rams invade Marauder Stadium to take on the Antelope Valley College Marauders. Hi everybody, I'm Matt Robinson. Welcome in on this interesting day, a 20th anniversary of September 11th, and a day that's always in our memory, especially up here in the Antelope Valley, a long history of service members up here in Antelope Valley. So it's a day that we kind of always think about, those 2,977 people lost their lives all those years ago, 20 years ago, in the tragedy of the World Trade Center, and we honor them today by playing some football. Sports was there to heal back then in 2001, and it's here to heal continually today in 2021. And the interesting thing is, back in 2020 or 2001, a lot of these kids not alive yet. A lot of these young guys don't quite know. They've only known a world that we know now with the 9/11 tragedy having passed, as we'll step aside for a few seconds and wait for national anthem here. Welcome back into Marauder Stadium as we get ready to go. Antelope Valley College, Victor Valley College here on a Saturday, as both these teams looking for their first win of the 2021 season. Both teams losing last week to a pair of National Division teams. Here on SoCal College Sports, we saw Antelope Valley College take on COC and had a tough one, as they lost 47-7 to Canyons down at College of the Canyons. As for Victor Valley, they had a tough one against Palomar, as they lost 31-3. So both really looking to shore up their offense here in week 2, as they had some struggles, but, expectedly so against the opponents in the National Division, which are some of the better teams in the National Division this year between Palomar and College of the Canyons. So we go to work here as Antelope Valley will kick the football off in their maroon uniforms, white numbers, and they will kick it towards the north end zone. Victor Valley in their white uniforms, red helmets with the gray ram horn on the side, much like the Los Angeles Rams used to wear for a time, as we are ready, just about to get underway. As it'll be John Henderson to start us off here for Antelope Valley, as Stokes along with Marquise Cato back to receive. Ball fell off the tee, so we'll wait again here. Both Stokes had a return last week, just a 10-yard return, so we'd imagine the Marauders will try and keep the ball away from him. They will kick it to Kato, who will take it back on the 2-yard line. He'll bring it up the far sideline and be tackled and go down. And the Victor Valley Rams will start with the football right about their own 30-yard line. They'll say 20-yard line, actually, now that I look and see where the mark is. Casey Moore will start at quarterback for the Rams. So they're still waiting for play clock to get ready to go here, as they're going to pump the play clock. It'll be at 25 as we wait to get ready. So Moore at quarterback, 152 yards on 17 pass attempts last week. We'll hand the ball off here on first down. It's Edwards with the run, and he gains a couple of yards. Actually, they say he gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Rams will put one in motion. They'll throw here. That ball deflected up in the air, nearly intercepted. That'll bring us 3rd and 10. Clock is running, so we'll stop and get a reset. So we'll go here on 3rd down. Moore will look at the sidelines here. Has Kenyard Edwards in the backfield with him on 3rd and 10. Will throw over the middle, incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. So 3 and out here early for the Rams, unable to really move the football. And we'll see our first punt of the ball game, as Moore will be the punter, as he punted last week as well. 3 punts, 102 yards, averaged 34 yards per kick. Standing back right about his own 40-yard line for Antelope Valley is Ramon Huff. That's now a timeout. And so we'll reset here. So a good opening defensive drive for Antelope Valley. A run that went for nothing, a couple of passes, one that was deflected, one that was just over the head of a receiver. And then a forced timeout. So Huff standing to wait right about his 40-yard line. See what he can do with the kick from Moore. As Moore will stand right about his 5-yard line to boot this one away. Kick is high. It's short. It's going to bounce on the Victor Valley side of the 50-yard line, but move ahead to the AVC 45, and that's where the Marauders will take over for their first drive of the ball game. So we'll get to see AVC's offense for the first time today. Caden Hinton going to start things off for the Marauders. Last week was under a lot of pressure against College of the Canyons. Threw an interception, did throw for a touchdown, 114 yards on 12 of 23 passing. So try and get things going. Low snap, he'll just pick it up and run forward. A flag on the play. And the clock, we're having some trouble with the clock here early on, continuing to run. And the penalty is on Victor Valley. And then we'll have a timeout. The white hat will come over and talk about it. So early on, some struggles. We'll get everything set up, ready to go. We're trying to figure out where the play clock and the game clock should be. And it looks like 13:30 is what they've settled on. So just a minute and a half into the ball game. Antelope Valley with a first down. And they'll start with it on the positive 45 or 49-yard line here, excuse me. Hinton in the backfield with a couple of backs with him. Will fake the handoff. Will roll to his right immediately. Is being chased down the sidelines. Will throw it. Has a man open. And a first down for AVC. As Hinton able to find Jaden O'Neal all the way up to the Victor Valley 19-yard line. As you take another look, Hinton running, being chased down by Sadi Jr., but was able to get it ahead. Great throw right on the money. 30-yard pass. Put it on the Ram 28-yard line. He's hitting, same thing, couple of backs in the backfield. This time we'll hand it off. Trying to look for some room to run. It's Xavier Clay. He'll pick up a couple. More than a couple, he gets about 8. It'll bring up second and about 2. So the Marauders in the red zone for the first time today, and now a whistle. Seems like both sidelines getting a warning here. So, been a slow start here early on. Couple of whistles, couple of struggles with the clock. Now sideline warnings for both sidelines. All in all, the ball on the 21-yard line here for the Marauders. Second down, 3 to go. As Hinton will boot out to the left, throws towards the end zone, looking for O'Neal, and it's broken up. So you can see it on the play here. Another RPO, Hinton will boot out, will throw it, and just not able to get it over the top of Darius Gibson. He gets credit for the pass defense, and it'll bring up third down and 3 from the 21-yard line. As Hinton will hand it off this time. Room for Bankhead around the corner. Inside the 5, will get to the end zone. And he gets it in for a Marauder touchdown. Bankhead on 3rd and 3 from the 21, able to take it to the house. And AVC has a 6-0 lead. Good blocking up front by the Marauder big men, as Bankhead with enough room to get to the edge and just runs past the Victor Valley defense. And he really went in untouched, didn't really have anybody near him. So an easy score for Bankhead. And the Marauders an extra point away from a 7-0 lead. Kick is up, kick is good. So 7-0 Antelope Valley, good opening drive. Hinton leads the way. Bankhead finishes it off. It's a 4-play drive for Antelope Valley that goes 51 yards and results in a touchdown. Henderson will once again kick it away here. And he will once again kick to the far side. And it'll be a touchback as Kato takes it, and it'll move the ball out to the 25-yard line. First and 10 from there for Victor Valley. So the Rams on their first drive, 3 and out early on. Didn't really have much of anything going. We'll see if they can try and turn some things around a bit and get the offense into a little bit of a rhythm. Casey Moore back out there at quarterback. Kenyard Edwards Jr. in the backfield with him. Couple of receivers out to the near side as Moore will throw. Far side, pass is caught by Potts, spins off one defender, knocks another defender down, still fighting forward, and will get enough for a first down. So first down for Victor Valley as you take another look. All the fight from Potts. So he was their leading receiver in week 1, 5 receptions, 50 yards in terms of catches in the game. averaged about 10 yards a catch as he gets a new set of downs as the chains move for the first time today for Victor Valley. So put one in motion. This time it'll be a keep for Moore. Tries to spin off a defender. Will pick up maybe 2-3 yards. We'll see where the spot is. And it'll bring up second down. Figures was the first one in on the tackle. Give it a gain of 3. So we'll go 2nd and 7 from the Victor Valley 40. Same set, 2 receivers to the near side. Moore will throw far side once again, and it's Potts once again as he's pushed out of bounds. But he picks up a significant number and leaves Victor Valley in 3rd and short as they get right about to the 44-yard line. I think that's where the spot will be. We'll leave them about 3 yards to pick up here on 3rd down, try and get themselves a new set of downs. Potts, the lone receiver out to the far side, has been targeted a couple of times. This time they'll hand off, trying to pound through the middle, and he may have gotten the chains, was Edwards, and they will say he did get the chains. And it'll be good enough for Victor Valley first down. Good job up front by the big men for Victor Valley. All the big bodies doing work up front, and as will bring up first down, the ball just on the other side of the 47-yard line of the Rams. Still look to the sideline and delay here. 25 on the play clock. Moore will step in. He'll throw here on 1st and 10. Was looking over the middle, and it's picked off. Womack was able to come up with it. He'll try and return it back the other way. Gets it across the 50 to the 45-yard line. First turnover of the ball game, and it was on a deflected pass. As the pass was intended for Shamar Smith, you'll take another look at it right here. As Moore had him over the middle here on 1st down. You can see it just goes off of his hands, and Womack, who was deep in coverage, able to come up with it. Good concentration by the sophomore defensive back out of Pinson Valley. Able to pick up his first interception of the season. And AVC will take over with good field position on the 45-yard line with 10:10 to go here in the first quarter. Already a 7-0 lead for the Marauders. And then a penalty on Victor Valley will march the ball all the way up to the 30-yard line. Could not hear what the penalty was. The White Hat having some trouble with his microphone here early on in the ball game. It'll move the ball all the way up to the 30-yard line. So once again, the Marauders with really good field position here as they'll start 1st and 10. Just outside the red zone. A good chance for AVC to push the lead here early on. They scored on their first drive. And yeah, now the whistle's gonna go. I was gonna say that's probably gonna be a neutral zone infraction. It took a second for the officials to come up with it. They finally did. As it looked like on the near side for Victor Valley. It was Gabe Sadi Jr. that was a little bit too early on the jump. So it'll be 1st down and 5 here as they'll throw, and that pass deflected. Good job by Kato in coverage. It'll bring a 2nd and 10. Pass was intended for Collins, who had a good game last week against College of the Canyons. As whistles, as the snap went, move the Marauders back, so we'll go 2nd and 10 now, and that one dropped, and that's just a straight drop. It was intended for Devon Jones, but he just couldn't come up with it, so it'll bring a 3rd down and 10 here. Hinton with Bankhead in the backfield will hand off to Bankhead here on 3rd and 10. He's still on his feet. Gets up to the 26-yard line, but that'll be it. Mac Miller on the tackle. It'll bring up 4th down, and it looks like AVC going to go for it here. Call it 4th and 6 for AVC. In that kind of weird zone, as it would be about a 40-yarder, 42-yarder. Hinton will throw here on 4th down, wants to throw back across the field, has a man wide open, as that time it's Jones able to come up with it, and he runs into the end zone untouched for a Marauder touchdown. Just a beautiful play design that time for Antelope Valley. As you can see, Hinton rolls to his left, looks back, and it's Jones wide open. And he's able to just run in untouched. He could have walked in. There was not a single white jersey nearby. Gonna bring Nicholas Ward in to try and kick the extra point here. It's the extra point up and good. Should take another look. And right away, you could see the Marauders players on the near sideline with their fists in the air, knew it was going to go for a touchdown, as the play call works perfectly for Antelope Valley. And a 14-0 lead, 19:18 to go here in the first. And just the start you were looking for if you were the Marauders. You get 2 touchdowns on your first 2 drives. Can't ask for anything more if you're Perry Jalika. After last week where really ABC just struggled offensively against a good Canyons defense, this week has looked the part against Victor Valley. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and Caden Hinton has done a nice job running the offense, has spread the ball around very well. This one will be returned. Kato going to try and bring it up, and he's hit right about the 20-yard line and then eventually brought down. Took a hard shot. Deontay Figures was the first in on the tackle. They'll put it at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10. It's 9:10 to go here in the first quarter. Victor Valley looking still to try and get any sort of offense going as they've kind of just struggled here early on. Did have one first down on their last drive, but other than that, just have not had much doing. As Moore will take the direct snap. Pump fakes, wants to throw downfield, looking down the sidelines, was trying to go for Potts, but it was about 6 feet out of bounds. Gonna bring up second down. Well over the head of Potts, too. Really no chance for him. Sun's starting to set here in the Antelope Valley. It's a gorgeous day out here in Lancaster, other than just a little bit of heat, but to be expected. As the sun goes down tonight, it should cool off. As on second down, they'll run it. Edwards not able to do much with it. Gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage a yard more. And they actually say he did not get back to the line of scrimmage, lost 2 yards, so it'll bring up third down and 12 here. Still throw here on third down. Wants a big one deep down the near sideline. Not going to be able to connect. As he was trying to hit Stokes down the near sideline, and it'll bring up fourth and 12. Been the tough spot for Moore here so far today. Hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football, and when he has, just kind of thrown it out of play. So Moore will stand right back about his own 7-yard line to kick here. And it's a low line drive kick that'll take a Victor Valley roll. Everybody will move away in Marauders jerseys, and Victor Valley will down it right about the AVC 46-yard line. It'll bring up first down and 10 from there. So the third drive of the game. So we'll see what Caden Hinton can do. See if he can go 3 for 3, moving the ball down the field. Bank hit in the game at running back with Hinton. 3 receivers slotted out to the near side. Lone receiver on the far side is Arius Collins, and that's where last week he was very good. 5 receptions, 60 yards, averaged 12 yards per reception. His longest was 27. Did a good job as the ISO man last week for Antelope Valley, as they'll throw here on first down. Over the middle, pass is caught right about the 45-yard line of Victor Valley, and they try and push it ahead, and it'll be enough for an ABC first down as they get to about the 43. Pass was caught by Joshua Clark. A bunch of Victor Valley Rams in on the tackle. And now the clock will wind once again. Good throw over the middle by Hinton, who has looked very good here early on. So go back to work once again. We'll glance over at the sidelines. Now we'll throw here on first and 10 to the outside to Collins, trying to get around the corner. Can get by Murphy, gets pushed out of bounds, but it should be enough for an Antelope Valley first down as they will move the chains. 2 straight passes, 2 straight first downs for Antelope Valley. Hinton has looked very good here early on. It's 14-0 here, AVC. He'll throw here on 1st and 10. Was looking for Collins on a little bit of a screen. Flag in the backfield, should be in the area of a hold. We'll wait and see what the penalty is, but definitely back in the area of the hold, and it is, so it'll bring us 1st down, and it'll move the Marauders back 10 yards, so it'll be 1st and 20. Push the ball all the way back to the 42-yard line. So we'll 1st and 20 from there. 14-0 AVC. Hinton will take the snap. They'll run it this time with Bankhead, who's able to pound forward and pick up a decent little chunk. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 as they give him 5 yards on the play. They'll throw here on 2nd and 15, wanting a big one downfield. Man is open as it's Jones once again, and he makes the catch. And it's a 1st down, and the Marauders down into the red zone. Another good throw from Hinton. It's busted coverage once again. And the Marauders will look to try and push their lead to 21 here. As Hinton has Bankhead in the backfield with him. 2 receivers out to each side. Looks left immediately, will throw, and that one incomplete. Was trying to find Carlos Hill, but he was covered very tightly. Good job in coverage by Keyshawn Wilson. And it'll bring up 2nd down. And 7, so 2nd and goal from the 7. So they'll go 3 to the far side this time. Victor Valley trying to jump the snap count from AVC. It's a few times today. Lucky they didn't get caught offside that time as they'll hand off to Bankhead, looking for room, had a man in front of him, lost the football after he came down. Not sure why the clock stopped. They'll bring up 3rd down and they'll call it 3rd and goal from the 3. As it was Bankhead that time. Had a big body in front of him blocking. As he had Michael Main out in front of him, but just ran into him and fell down as Hinton will throw. That one intercepted in the back of the end zone. And then a late flag after a hit on the quarterback. And that one might get taken off the board for Victor Valley. It was right into the hands of Gianni Fisher, but you can see, actually the camera tipped up so you missed it. We'll wait and see on what the signal is from the official. So we maybe get a better look of it here. And it was a high hit, I think, on the far side. And it's going to be a personal foul for roughing the passer. And it'll give Antelope Valley a fresh set of downs as they move the ball half the distance to the goal. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, so a tough time for a penalty for Victor Valley, as it was a bad throw from Hinton, really. That's all you can really classify it as he threw it over everybody's head, but he gets hit late, and it might have been Damian Diaz on the hit. I did not see who it was. Actually, it might have been Logan Soriano on that far side, coming in off the edge. So we'll go 1st and goal from the 2, big back set. with Bankhead and a flag for delay of game. So, call it 1st and goal from the 7. All of that we just did basically reset. So that's where we started this last sequence. So we'll try it again. ABC stays in that big back set here. They'll run Bankhead out wide. Hinton wants to throw, looking into the end zone. It's a battle for it in the end zone. No signal yet. And they're going to say it's an interception. Victor Valley football. Mikhail Barnett able to come out with it. It was just simply a battle as the pass intended for the tight end, Cameron Christian, as you can see him come off the edge here, releases off the block. He had the football in his hands, but he had it ripped away from him by Mikhail Barnett as they came down, and they say it is Victor Valley football. It'll move it all the way out to the 25-yard line. So credit Barnett does a good job to stay with it. And it was just a matter of waiting to see who the officials would give the football to. And Barnett was the one that came out with it. So first turnover of the ball game on Antelope Valley. And it was a good play design, just a better play by the defender. So we'll see if Victor Valley can capitalize here with more. In the backfield, we'll hand off here on first down. Straight up the middle goes Kenyon Edwards Jr. And it'll bring up second down. He picks up a good chunk of the chains. Right about the 27-yard line. It was actually 1st and 10 from the 20, so we'll call it 2nd and 2. Moore will send one in motion. They'll hand off again. Edwards Jr. right up the middle with a big hole. Brings it all the way out across the 45-yard line. And that'll be a Victor Valley first down. Holly was the first one in on the tackle. And a big hole made by the big bodies up front. Victor Valley starting to move here a little bit. So again, they'll hand off. This time it's blown up in the backfield. Right there to get him and wrap him up was Ethan Estrella, the first one in on the play. Actually, let me correct that and give the right man credit. Actually, I'm not sure who that was. Somebody wearing 98. We'll try and get it for you here later. But it'll bring up second down and 13 here, as it's a loss of a bunch. They'll throw here, and that one to the tight end Shamar Smith. He's able to get about 5, or get about back to a 3rd and 5 situation, so we'll call it a 7-yard gain. We'll actually upgrade it to 3rd down and 4 here from the Marauders side of midfield, right about the 48-yard line. Moore will keep this time on the RPO, and he's able to run it to the outside. Will get pushed out of bounds, but enough for a first down. Dietrich Moore was the one to run him out of bounds. The Rams starting to move the football here. flag. I believe some movement up front against Victor Valley. So it's a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 15. False start on the Rams. Rams will go 3 receivers to the near side. Edwards Jr., the only back in the backfield. Moore will roll to his right, wants to throw downfield, but into an empty spot on the field, and it's incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd and 15. Just take another look on the Founder Solari replay. Good pressure by Antelope Valley. Big man coming in late to apply pressure to the quarterback was the linebacker Miles Cooney Jr. Excuse me, Cooney Jr. Or Cooney, Miles Cooney. Getting the junior from, looking down in the wrong spot in the roster. Cooney only 1 tackle in week 1 versus Canyons. Did not have much of an impact. Transfer from Western Oregon. So we'll go here on 2nd and 15. Handoff. And unable to get back to the original line of scrimmage was Edwards Jr. Picks up a few. We'll call it 3, so it'll bring up 3rd and about 12. Rams taking their time here, 10 on the play clock, so they need to get working and in a hurry. As they go here on 3rd and 12. Moore will throw, pressured in the backfield, didn't get knocked down, stayed on his feet, will dump it off. Edwards across the 30-yard line, lost the football, dives back on it. Ball is still loose, and now we'll get a whistle. As we'll stop the clock. 42 seconds. Take a look at the replay here. I think it's short of a 1st down. As the pressure from the outside coming. Good job from Moore to stay on his feet. Dumped it off to Edwards, who was then tackled. Might have lost the football, as it was Deshaun Sanders that made the hit. But I think they determined that he was down. And it'll bring up 4th down, and we'll call it 1. As they need to get to the Marauder 29-yard line, as inside of 30 seconds to play here in the 1st half. As late substitution here and a whistle for a stoppage, and I believe that's going to be a timeout against, it's going to go against Victor Valley here. And actually maybe they say the timeout was AVC's, as they didn't like the late substitution. So each team down to 2 timeouts. 24 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. 14-0 Antelope Valley. A pair of touchdowns for the Marauders. Passing touchdown from Caden Hinton to Devon Jones to make it 14-0, and an Amir Bankhead 21-yard run early in the 1st quarter to get the scoring started. So far, Hinton 5 for 6, 59 yards for the Marauders. Moore just 2 for 7 for 21 yards. There's really been not much going on the ground for Victor Valley as well, as they've only got 2 net rushing yards here early on, according to the stat sheet. Might be a little bit more. As we Moore here on 4th and 1. Rams will take their time as they look over to the sidelines. Bad snap. Moore will pick it up, hand it off, and that'll be enough for a first down. As Edwards able to bring it across the mark that was needed, and a couple of more. It'll get the ball to about the Marauder 27-yard line, and a new set of downs here. There's 5 seconds to go here in the first. And they will just say that is the end of the first. As Victor Valley just going to head to the sidelines. And to the second quarter we go. 14-0 Antelope Valley here from Marauder Stadium. Second quarter we go here from Marauder Stadium. 14-0 Antelope Valley. Matt Robinson with you here on this beautiful Saturday night on SoCal College Sports. Week 2 of the SCFA season. And it's been all ABC here early on. It's a pair of touchdowns in the first quarter for Antelope Valley. But Victor Valley starting to threaten here. As the ball on the Antelope Valley 27-yard line, and a fresh set of downs here as Moore will hand off to Kenyon Edwards Jr., and he'll be able to push it across the 25 to, we'll say the 23, give him a gain of 3, and it'll be second down, and we'll call it about 7. They'll actually upgrade it to a 4-yard gain, so we'll say 2nd and 6. Edwards starting to tick up a little bit. Started to find his rhythm a bit. A couple of good runs. As we'll go here on 2nd down, they'll throw to the outside. Man wide open on the far side is Potts. Tries to hurdle the defender and does. Successfully able to get it down to the 10-yard line, and Victor Valley with a fresh set of downs in the red zone. 1st and goal from the 10, and actually it might be 1st and 10 from the 11 as they'll mark him at the 11. So basically 1st and goal from the 11, as you need 10 to get a first down, 11 for a touchdown. Go here on 1st and 10. Moore holds, and then we'll just dump it into space as he got knocked down. Was run across the sidelines by I want to say Jalen Harvey, or it might have been Xavier Tatham. Trying to chase him down. Nonetheless, it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 11. As this time they'll hand off to Edwards. Gets the corner and into the end zone. For a touchdown for Victor Valley. Edwards has started to really find his way here. And this time able to get around the edge, as Goodman could not catch up to him. And the Rams on the board for the first time. And if at this point cut it to a one-score game. On to try the point after. Carlos Garcia up and good. 7-point ball game here from Marauder Stadium. As Victor Valley gets on the board for the first time today. An 11-yard touchdown run from Kenyard Edwards. As he went in pretty well untouched. Was able to get that edge. His first touchdown of the season. And just like that, back to a one-score game. The kick going to be a short one. It'll be fielded right about the 10-yard line by Ramon Huff. He'll run it all the way to the Victor Valley sideline before he's tripped up at the 30-yard line. So about a 20-yard return. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Marauders, as Huff can be dangerous on the return game. 5 kick returns last week, 145 yards, averaged about 29 yards per return. Did have one of 49 yards. So definitely a dangerous man in the return game. As the Marauders will go back to work here, they'll hand off on 1st down. Not much room to operate, as it was Bankhead. And he might have got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe one extra. Give him 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Bankhead remains in the backfield. 3 Marauders out to the near side. It's a new quarterback in the game for Antelope Valley as well. Bryson Blankenship coming in to take over, so wonder what happened to Caden Hinton. Threw the interception last time out, and now it's not him on the field as this pass caught by Jalen O'Neill, but it's going to go for a loss, and a big loss at that, as it was a screen pass that was sniffed out nicely by Victor Valley. Take another look, all the defensive backs in coverage right there. First man in on contact was Keyshawn Wilson. And I'll push it back to 3rd and 13 here. Take a look at the sideline, see if we see Caden Hinton down there. And he definitely is down there. He's standing right behind one of the coaches. So just a change here for Antelope Valley as Blankenship will throw. Wants a big one downfield, but it's behind the intended target. Was looking for Devon Jones. Keyshawn Wilson in coverage out there with him. And it'll bring up 4th down and 13. And for first time today, Antelope Valley will punt one away. So we'll see John Henderson for the first time today. A couple of Rams back to receive. Stokes and Kato, the 2 return men, who have been there pretty much all day. There's this punt, a wobbly one that lands right about the Victor Valley 45-yard line and takes an Antelope Valley bounce. We'll roll back to the 41. And that's where the Rams will take over on their own 41-yard line, trailing 14-7. Try and get you some stats as soon as we can, but we've lost our live stats for the moment. The last drive from Victor Valley, a good one. Moore was able to lead the way, and they finished it off with an Edwards touchdown run from 11 yards out. And it was a steady diet of Edwards, really, for Victor Valley, as they kept the ball on the ground. We'll see if they do the same here. As they will. As Edwards able to find space, he's able to get the edge across the 40, inside the 30, and finally pushed out of bounds way down at the Antelope Valley 10-yard line is where they'll spot it. A big run. As it started about their own 41-yard line. Call it a gain of 49. And it was a great run from Edwards, just waited, found his space, stayed on his feet. And it'll bring up 1st and goal for the Rams. New back in the game. They'll hand it off to Dylan Jackson. Not much for him. As it'll bring up 2nd down and 12. As they'll say he loses a couple of yards. So 2nd and goal from the 12 here. Jackson stays in the game. There's more to throw here on 2nd and goal. That one low. Intended for Isaiah Stokes, but he couldn't come up with it. Now a timeout called by Antelope Valley. So 2nd timeout used by ABC here. They want to talk about it here as it's an important spot, leading 14-7. 9:51 to go here in the first half. Really, the Marauders done well in passing situations defensively against Victor Valley, as Moore hasn't really been able to find much on the offensive front throwing the football. But the run game has certainly been there for Victor Valley, especially with Kenyard Edwards, who's been very good here as the game has continued on, as he will come back into the backfield to work here on what is 3rd and goal, as they'll run a reverse, and that one will not work, as they tried to get it to Isaiah Stokes, and he maybe got a yard. So we'll have a field goal attempt here. As that kick up and good. So the field goal there. And it's a 4-point game now, 14-10 in favor of Antelope Valley, as it was Carlos Garcia to boot it home. So Victor Valley able to come away with points. That's About all you can ask for, really. Each time down the field, you would have liked to have a touchdown inside the red zone, but credit the Marauder defense, stood tall. As Garcia will kick it off here. Huff standing deep. This one a low kick, picked up by Huff after he dropped it. Good return all the way back across the 40, and he's finally tripped up. Gonna move the ball up to the 46-yard line. Actually, they'll spot it shorter than that. 43-yard line. And we'll go 1st and 10. So they'll hand off. Bankhead able to stay on his feet. Still working. There's a flag in the backfield. And that is in the area of a hold. And it is. So we'll back things up 10 yards and we'll go 1st and 20 from the 33-yard line of the Marauders. And there's still Blankenship in there at quarterback. He'll hand off this time, and it's blown up in the backfield. Bankhead, nowhere to go. Couple of bodies there. Jordan Payne, one of them. Steve Wilson, the other one. Each met Bankhead way deep in the backfield, and he loses, we'll say, 4 yards. So it'll make it 2nd down and 24 here. Blankenship will throw. Has to roll to his left. Looking downfield. Has a man. Pass is caught. And stepping out of bounds is Carlos Hill. It's a big one, though. As Hill just stays out there, and they nearly get the mark, and they do get the mark all the way out to the Victor Valley 46-yard line. And it's a new set of downs for the Marauders, a 25-yard gain. They needed 24 to get the 1st down, and they got 1 extra. As they'll go here quickly on 1st down. Pass to the outside to Arius Collins. And that ball was loose, but the whistle blew. It was Mikhail Barnett able to come out with it. And I think they said it was an incomplete pass. Actually, they say he was down. So it'll be 2nd down and 12. And that's a tough break for Victor Valley, as that one thrown well behind the receiver. Just trying to go on the outside to Joshua Clark, but nothing there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So 3rd and 12. From the Victor Valley 49-yard line. So they'll send the back out wide, pass to Jalen O'Neal on a little screen. He fell down. Would have had a big one, had lots of blockers out in front, but just slipped and fell. Gets to about the 41-yard line. It's going to be well short of a first down as it was a gain of 8. And whistle. It's a timeout called by Victor Valley. So each team down to one timeout. We'll call it 4th down and 4 when we come back. Looks like ABC was coming out to go for it here as they're kind of in no man's land right now. Too far to kick a field goal, a little too short for a punt, and you're only up by 4. Although you would, in my estimation, rather punt the football away and put it at the 25-yard line. As we want to say thank you to Founder Solari, our proud sponsor of ABC football. Is there one of the reasons why we can put this on? Here today on SoCal College Sports as we wait to get set here. As they'll throw here, pass over the middle, caught! And into the end zone for a touchdown is Carlos Hill. And a great play call by the Marauders as Blankenship hits a streaking Hill right over the middle. As you take a look at the Hunter Dodge replay, and the Marauders go for it on 4th down and it pays off. Blankenship just takes his time, floats it over the middle, right in front of Marquise Canto, who couldn't keep up with the speedy Carlos Hill. Looked like he was a little injured going into the end zone, but I think that was more for show than anything else. And it's a 10-point lead for AVC, pending the point after. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Marauders push the lead up to 11 on a Bryson Blankenship to Carlos Hill touchdown. A 41-yard strike. Comes on a 4th and 4 situation with 6:07 to go in the first half. So can't ask for a better outcome on the 4th down situation as you get a touchdown on it if you're Antelope Valley. And now if you're Victor Valley, you gotta really figure out a way to march back down the field and score, as you don't want this one to stay an 11-point game. Got it back from a 14-0 deficit down to a 4-point game, and got to do it once again. As Canto and Stokes back to receive, a short kick will land out of bounds from John Henderson. Ball went out at the 15. We'll see if Victor Valley elects to move it ahead or make a re-kick. So an illegal procedure, and they'll say first down. They'll take it from the 35. So Victor Valley will take over there. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. They really need to get going here. There's more in the backfield with Edwards right next to him. They'll hand off to Edwards straight up the middle, and he's met. Gets a gain of 3 out of it. He's hit hard by one of the big bodies for Antelope Valley. Couldn't see who it was in the pile. Might have been Brennan Goodman, as he was right there. Give it a gain of 3, so 2nd and 7. Moore will throw here on 2nd and 7. Wants a big one looking downfield, but was never going to find the intended target. And it'll bring up 3rd and 7. As he was trying to go down the near sideline to LaShawn Potts, but no chance. And we'll go 3rd and 7 from the Victor Valley 38-yard line. Potts, the wide receiver, out on the near side. Closest to you on the screen is Victor Valley going towards the north end zone here in the 2nd quarter. And he's sacked in the backfield is Moore. A couple of bodies in there for Antelope Valley. Lorflis Jr., one of the bodies there. And it might have been Damari Crooms in there as well, all the way back to the 30-yard line. First sack of the day for Antelope Valley. And a good stop for the Marauders. As Moore will step back to punt. And whistle. An offside called against Antelope Valley. It's a defensive encroachment call. So it'll make it 4th and 10 from the 35. And we'll just kick it away once again. Emery Floyd standing back to receive. We'll take it at about the 15-yard line. Still on his feet as he tries to reverse field and cut it back. Gets all the way back to the 35. And that is where whistles will blow. And actually it was Reese Robinson on the return. Good effort from Robinson as he got a block, and I think they're lucky there was no block in the back there against Antelope Valley. So it was right near the ball. And actually there is a flag on the play, so I think there will be a block in the back call against Antelope Valley. Just kind of waiting for the officials to get everything dialed in here. Foul happened right about the 20-yard line, so give the Marauders a long field here, as it'll spot the ball all the way back to about the 11-yard line. It'll be halfway between the 11 and the 12. We'll say the 11 for sure. And we'll go 1st and 10 as Blankenship will hand off. Bankhead trying to get the edge, still on his feet, pulled down from behind as coming across the field to rip him down was Deshaun Griffin. 2nd down and 4 as it's a gain of 6 for Bankhead. Blankenship's done a nice job since coming in to take over for Caden Hinton after the interception. He's just managed the offense as he'll hand off again to Bankhead. This time he has a hole. Blocker out in front, but he lost the football. Diving on it, though, for Antelope Valley was Elijah Steele. As you take another look, Bankhead with plenty of room to operate, had a big body out in front of him in Cruz Clay, but lost the football. Maybe had it stripped from behind. And it'll bring up 1st down for Antelope Valley here. As they've moved it up to their own 30-yard line. Blankenship will throw. Looking downfield, has a man, but just out of the reach of Devon Jones. To bring up 2nd and 10. Good looking throw, just led Jones a little bit too much, as it was right there. So 2nd and 10, 2:53 to go. Blankenship will hand off to Bankhead once again. Charges right through the middle. Gets to the 35, maybe the 36. Make it 3rd and about 4 here. As it's been a steady diet of Amir Bankhead so far here today, as we'll go 3rd and 4. Clay got a little bit of a run early as Blankenship will throw in and out of the hands of a receiver. It's a drop from Joshua Clark as he had his hands on it but just couldn't keep a hold of it. And it'll bring up 4th down and 4. Marauders from their own 36 will kick this one away. Inside of 2:20 to go here in the first half. 21-10 in favor of Antelope Valley. There's now a timeout called by Victor Valley. That'll be their last timeout, as they were late on a substitution. Marauders with touchdowns from Amir Bankhead, Devon Jones, and then Carlos Hill. As Antelope Valley football brought to you by Hunter Dodge, proud sponsor of ABC Marauder football. Victor Valley, their lone touchdown, Kenya Edwards Jr., an 11-yard run to make it 14-7, but then the Jones touchdown a few minutes ago, pushing the lead back to 11. The Marauders will kick it away. As they'll fake here. And it's Jones, and he's going to get enough for a 1st down. Good time for a fake. It works nicely, as it's a direct snap right to Jones. And he just runs around the edge. There for the tackle was Keyshawn Wilson, but he just couldn't rip him down. And it's another 1st down for Antelope Valley here. Gutsy play call from Perry Jalika. Goes for it on 4th and 4. Inside of his own territory. It could have been disastrous. Up by 11. Instead, it's another first down. The Marauders will go back to work once again. Blankenship will throw here on first down. Looking to the outside. Pass caught by Steele. Immediately wrapped up by Mikhail Barnett and taken down. Haven't had a lot of time to talk about Blankenship, the freshman out of Monroe, Washington, who went to Monroe High School. 3 for 8 with 26 yards and an interception against Antelope Valley, or excuse me, against College of the Canyons last weekend. But wasn't a bad high school player necessarily. Threw for 632 yards, 7 touchdowns for Bonanza last year after he moved down to the Las Vegas area. In his junior season, he threw for 1,157 yards up in Monroe. So definitely a guy that can sling it around a little bit as it's 3rd down and 6 here. It's a flag, free play. Ball is dropped. It was a low throw. He was trying to hit Jalen O'Neal. There's another flag on the play here. So it's encroachment on the defense, a 5-yard penalty. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. So it's not quite enough for a first down. So to give Antelope Valley a much shorter distance to try and go. They're trying to go 2 for 1 here as they'll get the ball back out of the halftime. As they kicked off to start the game, they'll hand off to Bankhead. He's got enough for a first down. Spins right about the 40-yard line, gets taken down there. And a fresh set of downs here. I should take another look. Bankhead's been good so far today. Has really done a nice job running the football. Compare that to last week, just 5 carries, 39 yards last week. But this week, much better as they'll throw here. Steele on the outside, able to get about 4 yards. And a timeout called. As it looked like about a full extra second ran off the clock. Is Antelope Valley going to use that final timeout? As they have a decision to make here. Actually, maybe it was not a timeout on Antelope Valley here. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Maybe the runner was knocked out of bounds. We'll go 2nd down and 7. They'll give it a gain of 3. Just 18 seconds to go here. So they've pushed the clock back up to 18. So it definitely was a player running out of bounds as Blankenship will throw. Was looking down the near sidelines. Intended for Devon Jones and just couldn't find him. So we'll go 3rd and 7 here. Marauders need to probably get inside the 25-yard line to give Nicholas Ward a chance at a field goal. So it's right about where he was hitting from in pregame warm-ups, maybe back at the 30, but so you're talking you need close to the first down marker to even give your kicker a chance here. So we'll go 3rd and 7. Blankenship will throw. It's a little screen pass. Jones still on his feet. Tackled well short of the line to gain. And with 5 seconds, a timeout called. They'll give him a gain of maybe 3 yards. It'll leave him 4th and about 4. And we'll see if that's enough to try and give the field goal unit a chance. They're just shy of the 36-yard line. Actually, no, they moved the ball. They moved the spot on me. It'll be right on the 34-yard line of the Rams. So I believe they'll go for it here on 4th down, and they will. So outside of the range of the field goal unit. So it'll be Blankenship here with 5 to go. And you would imagine this ball is going to be in the end zone. Victor Valley has dropped a few extra bodies deep. Blankenship with time will have to scramble, and he's sacked in the backfield, and that'll end the first half. Jordan Payne around the edge, able to bring him down. The Marauders will take a 21-10 lead into halftime as they get touchdowns from Bankhead, Jones, and Hill. For Victor Valley, Kenyon Edwards, the only one to score. 21-10, actually a field goal from Carlos Garcia as well. So 21-10, the final, or the score at halftime, in favor of the Marauders.
The Labor Day sales event is happening now at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall. Take advantage of huge savings on our entire inventory, including Dodge Challengers and Chargers, Jeep Wranglers and 4xe electric Jeeps, and of course, tons of Ram trucks at America's largest Ram Truck Center, Ram of the West. We can also pre-order the specific vehicle you're looking for direct from the factory. So come by Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall or shop online at hunterdodge.com. The Labor Day sales event is happening now at Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall. Take advantage of huge savings on our entire inventory, including Dodge Challengers and Chargers, Jeep Wranglers and 4xe electric Jeeps, and of course, tons of Ram trucks at America's largest Ram Truck Center, Ram of the West. We can also pre-order the specific vehicle you're looking for direct from the factory. So come by Hunter Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the Lancaster Auto Mall or shop online at hunterdodge.com.
Welcome back into Antelope Valley College, Marauders Stadium, as the Antelope Valley Marauders with a 21-10 lead over Victor Valley as we get you ready for second half action. It is a solid first half for the Marauders, and it really was led by the run game, as Amir Bankhead has been very good so far here in the first half. As he's had a nice little running game and a little bit of a change on the offensive side as Bryson Blankenship has taken over the quarterback duties as we get you ready for the second half, presented by Founder Solari and Hunter Dodge, the sponsors of Antelope Valley College football. Just waiting to get started. Trying to get you some numbers if we can. We're still waiting on the live stats to catch up online. At some point, Bankhead, 11 attempts, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Hinton, 5 for 8, 99 yards, but came out after he threw an interception in the first quarter. And since then, Blankenship, 8 for 15, 75 yards, and a touchdown pass. Has kind of gotten everything going here late, has done a nice job to run the offense as Antelope Valley will start with the football. On the other side for Victor Valley, it's been really the Kenyard Edwards show. 11 attempts, 91 yards at some point. I think he might be a little bit higher than that. I think actually that might be the final number on the half. We were kind of waiting for the live stats to get caught up. So yeah, 11 attempts, 91 yards, and a touchdown run. Otherwise, really has not been much offense for Victor Valley so far today. Just 126 total yards. Compare that to 237 for the Marauders. As we're just waiting on the kick to get underway. Ramon Huff, Reese Robinson back to receive. Here for the Marauders. As the kick towards Huff going to be taken at the 5-yard line. Huff will bring it ahead from there. Still on his feet through the middle of the field. Will cut it to the outside of the hash mark. On his feet. Good return here for Huff. Still going across the 40 and all the way down to the 37-yard line of the Rams. So a great return to start the second half. And the Marauders will have great field position in their opening drive here. Taking a look at the Hunter Dodge replay. Huff from about the 5-yard line had plenty of blockers out in front. Cut it outside the left hash and stayed on his feet across the 50 and was finally drug out of bounds. And then there was a flag on the play back near the 40-yard line, and it's actually a hold, so it's going to move the ball all the way back. So you negate that entire return from Huff on a simple hold back near the Marauder 42-yard line. The flag did not see it, was well behind the play, and it was well away from, I think, where Huff actually might have been right where Huff cut the ball back out to the left. So it'll move us back to the 32-yard line. And we'll go 1st and 10 for Antelope Valley from there. As they start on their own 32. Blankenship still in there as the quarterback. Bankhead the lone back in the backfield. They'll hand off on a delay. Call it 3 yards for Bankhead. So ball spotted right about the 35-yard line of the Marauders. Bankhead just to the left of Blankenship. 3 receivers out to the near side as Blankenship will throw. Wants a deep ball. Kind of just thrown up for grabs. Nearly caught by Devon Jones as he just had to make an athletic play to even get a hand on it as you take another look. As Blankenship had pressure in his face, and there's a great recovery by Jones. He almost got it picked off, though, after he knocked it down as Barnett was right there trying to pull the ball down, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 7. There was pressure from Deshaun Griffin, the linebacker, on the play. As we'll go 3rd and 7 here. They'll swing Bankhead out wide. They'll throw down the far sideline, and really not much of a chance, as the pass was intended for Jalen O'Neal. And it'll be a 3 and out here for Antelope Valley as they'll kick it away. Low snap. Henderson did all he could to just pick it up and get it away, and he gets a good one as it'll bounce at about the 30 and roll back to the Rams' 24-yard line, 23-yard line actually, and it'll be 1st and 10 from there for Victor Valley as they'll get their first possession of the ball game. So Victor Valley with their first possession here the second half as Casey Moore will lead them back out on the field trying to get something going. We'll see if they stay with the steady diet of Edwards as he ran the ball quite often in that first half as they'll throw here, and that one intercepted on a deflection. And it's a 1st down for Antelope Valley as they get another takeaway. Pass was intended for Potts and was just high. Actually, excuse me, it was intended for Alex Gonzalez, too high, and Womack came down with it, and I believe that's the 2nd interception of the day for Womack. We'll double check on it, but it'll flip the field here, and Antelope Valley will take over 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. So a fresh set of downs here for AVC. Low snap. Blankenship will pick it up. There's a foul on the play. Is pretty easy one for the officials to see, as Bankhead just tackled somebody in the backfield. And it'll be a hold on Bankhead. So to go all the way back to the 39-yard line. Womack with his second interception of the day has put AVC in good field position as they'll run with Bankhead on a little bit of a switch play. He's knocked out of bounds. He gets a big chunk all the way back down to the 25-yard line. They'll bring up 2nd and 5 here. Just a 3-man front for Victor Valley. They'll throw here, and that one incomplete as Bankhead out of the backfield couldn't come down with it. Hasn't been much on the offensive side for AVC by the way of throwing. Hinton had 99 yards, Blankenship just 75, each with a touchdown pass. But otherwise, they've kind of just stayed with Amir Bankhead the rest of the way to kind of control the clock and keep things at bay. And false start going to be called against Antelope Valley, I believe, as there's all sorts of movement up front, and that is indeed the call. So it'll be 3rd and, we'll say 11 here, as it'll back them up. Everybody on the Marauders sideline looking at the Marauders side of the field looking at the sideline for signals. The offensive line was there as well, and that's going to just move us right back to where we were. Too early on the movement. Liam McCarty. And so we'll go back to 3rd and 6. So we'll try it one more time on 3rd down here. Bankhead with the direct snap, wants to throw, looking down the near sideline, pass caught by Collins. And they say he was out of bounds. He didn't get a foot down, I think. It was the deep official, not the one nearest the ball, that made the call. And now they're going to talk about it. It was the line judge on the near side. Let's take another look at the replay if we can. As they say, the pass was incomplete. He was out of bounds. We'll take another look. Of course, we cannot. That's pretty close. Looked like he tiptoed the line. The line judge, though, said that his toe was out of bounds when he caught the football. It's hard to see from the angle up top, but it certainly looked good for us on the replay. Unfortunately, there's no such replay option in 3C2A football. I don't know, looked pretty good to me. Up here, we're saying it looked pretty good. Director Aldo Canepa and I both kind of looked at each other and said, yep, that should have probably been a catch. And it's the left foot, when you looked at it, that I think they were saying was out of bounds, because the right foot was definitely in on the plant. But I think they were saying his left foot was out and the right foot came back inbounds. You could see the official and one of the Antelope Valley coaches going over it. This is the white hat talking to, I think it was Perry Jalika, and Perry didn't look very happy at all. So it'll bring up 4th and 6, and the Marauders will go for it here. And why not? You're up by 11, and last time you went for it on a 4th down at about this distance, you got a touchdown out of it. Blankenship will fake the handoff, wants to throw for the end zone, looking for Collins, but it's out of the back of the end zone. And it'll be a turnover on down, so good defense by Victor Valley that time. There's not much Collins could do for it. It's essentially a punt for the Marauders. They'll turn it over, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Here with 12:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball spotted right at the 25-yard line. So now if you're Rams, you get what you needed out of the defense. Is you get a stop, you don't allow any points. Now you got to go down the other side of the field and score. As they turned it over last time, they bunch everybody up just inside the slot. Edwards the lone back. They'll throw on a RPO. Pass was caught by Smith. Call it a gain of about 2. Should be second and about 8. Figures was the first one in on contact. More still calling signals out there. Sophomore from Spring Valley. So this time he'll hand it off to Edwards, who has a hole along the left side, but he's met in the second level and brought down nicely by Lorflis. So you can see Lorflis come out of the second level and get him and keep him to just a gain of 1. So it'll be 3rd and 7 here. It's Victor Valley trying to get organized. Smith, I think, is on the wrong side of the line as they try and get everybody back into the places they want them. Another RPO, Moore steps up, throws over the middle, pass caught. Good throw as Moore stays in there and finds Potts, but there's a penalty flag on the near side of the field. Victor Valley looks like they're walking back. And it's an illegal man downfield call against Victor Valley, so we'll march it all the way back and some, so it negates a good pass. So it'll bring us 3rd and about 12. Moore going to throw. This time has to step up, and he's brought down in the backfield. Not much room for Moore that time, as all of the big boys were around. As he was brought down from behind by Jordan Aarons. So Victor Valley will have to kick it away. Robinson standing right about his 40-yard line here. This kick from Moore. A good one that bounces. Robinson just lets it bounce. Now he'll pick it up and wants to run with it. We'll bring it off to the near sideline. Outside the numbers, still has room. Flag down on the play. And that should bring this back as a bunch of flags now. There's yellow hankies all over the field. There's 3 of them out there right now. One spotted at the Victor Valley 45, one spotted at the 50, and one spotted at the AVC 45. So we take a look. Not sure. I mean, there were a bunch of them all over the place, so I'm sure some sort of illegal block probably going to be called. The officials all now looking at their Cards trying to figure out which flag is the flag they're using. And it's a chop block call. That one's declined. A personal foul declined, and another personal foul. So, unfortunately, we don't have an official microphone. It has not been working throughout most of the game. So it's going to move the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line of Antelope Valley, and it'll be 1st and 10 from there. Chains gang needs to get moving. They're on the complete wrong side of the field. So we'll go 1st and 10 from the 30. So once again, we'll see what they designed for Blankenship. Muffed handoff, and Bankhead did all he could just to pick it up, and they took a hard shot for his trouble as Deshaun Griffin came in and just leveled him. Should take another look here. Ball almost landed right in Bankhead's hands on the snap, and never good when your teammate has to pick you up by the shoulders after you get crushed through the middle as a running back. Did a good job, though, just to get 2 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Victor Valley showing a little bit of pressure. EVC will look towards the sidelines here. It's 9:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 21-10 in favor of the Marauders, as they got 3 first-half touchdowns. As that one thrown up for grabs and intercepted. Blankenship just throwing it downfield, and Marquise Cato comes down with it at the Victor Valley 43-yard line. And yet another turnover in the ballgame, this time an interception thrown by Blankenship. 2nd interception thrown by the Marauders. And the 4th interception in the game overall. Of course, AVC with 2 from Raymond Womack. Victor Valley now gets one from Cato, and they got one from Josiah Murphy earlier as well. So Victor Valley will take back over on their own 43-yard line. And just like their last drive, a very important spot for them here to try and get things going as they'll hand off to Edwards, and that run play is blown up in the backfield. He was wrapped up on first contact. By Xavier Tatham was the first one there, and it'll be a loss of, we'll say, maybe 4 here. Actually 3, so it'll be 2nd down and 13. Tatham with a good break right through the middle, able to pull him down. They go 2nd and 13 here. Back on the 40-yard line. Moore will throw here on 2nd down. Swings it outside quickly. Good coverage tackle that time by Dejon Sanders as the pass caught by Hosea Stokes, excuse me. And it's a modest gain of about 5. Puts the ball at the 45-yard line. And it'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it about 7. Actually call it about 8 here. Rams take their time. 2 receivers out to the near side. Bad snap, rolled. And then a hard tackle, and I think close to a horse collar. I think that's what Victor Valley wants, but it's not going to be one. I think it was just a high tackle more than anything else, as the pass was caught by Edwards out of the backfield, and he was pulled down hard. As it was Cooney on the tackle, and I think really just a good hard tackle there from Cooney. So it'll get us to 4th down here. As the kick is away, and it'll go out of bounds. And we'll see where they spot it. Ball moves all the way up to the 30-yard line. They say that's where it went out of bounds. So Antelope Valley will take over there. Neither offense really getting anything going here so far in the second half. Both have really been stymied by the defenses. There's a few punts off each side. Marauders start on their own 30-yard line. Clay in the ball game for the first time in the second half, and he gets a good chunk, maybe 6 yards. Bring up second down, and we'll call it about 4. First real time we've seen Clay today, other than a handoff early in the ball game. But that time, able to march it ahead, and we'll go back to work here on second down. It's going to be Clay again, and this time he just runs right through the pile. And that's good enough for a first down, as Clay will move the sticks. Gain of about 6. Antelope Valley in that big back set once again. They'll hand off once again. Clay this time tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets 3 or 4 yards on the play. Call it about 6 left here on second down. Now the clock is stopped at 5:46. There was a whistle with the official on the far side waving his hands. We'll go back to work. Fake the handoff this time. Play action pass down the near sideline, incomplete. So we'll go third and from last spot, 5. This time they'll hand off to Clay once again. Dives through the pile, still on his feet as he spun around. Has plenty for a first down as he dives ahead. And the spot going to be at the 44-yard line, a gain of 7 here, and it'll be first and 10. So it's been a steady diet of Xavier Clay, and he'll run it again here on first down. This time a big run all the way up to the 35-yard line, and then a late flag on the near sidelines as Sadi Jr. was tied up with, looks like Donovan Brown. Brown's helmet got knocked off. Good job by the O-line up front as we wait for the call. That really gave Clay a huge hole, and he was able to just march right through the middle. Call it a gain of 8. Should leave us second and about 2 here, pending what the fouls are. And it's going to be a personal foul on the defense. It's going to go against Sadi Jr. And so it'll give ABC a fresh set of downs, and it'll move the ball way up into Ram territory, all the way down to the 21-yard line. So the Marauders in the red zone once again. Bankhead back in the game will get the carry this time and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Soriano in on the first contact. Second down, still 10 yards. Give to Bankhead once again. He had a couple of blockers out in front, and this time able to get about 8. So it'll be third down at about 2. See, they had an extra body in the backfield. It was Dylan Hall back there, working as the lead blocker. And actually scratch that, Michael Clark working as the lead blocker. Clark kind of in there as a secondary running back option, but really kind of more used as a fullback in that instance. As we go 3rd and 2, they'll send Bankhead in motion. Another bad snap that bounced before it got to Blankenship. They just had to hand it off. And it was all that Michael Clark could do to just even get a yard. As we'll say 4th and 1. It's about the 3rd or 4th time in the second half that we've seen the ball bounce before it gets to the quarterback. Good single leg tackle by Kato to bring down Clark. And it'll be 4th down and a long one. They need to get to about the 11-yard line. Marauders need to hurry up here, just 10 seconds on the play clock. They come out and a big back set. They hand off to Bankhead, put his foot in the ground. He's got the edge inside the 10 and he's brought down, but good enough for a first down. Good run from Amir Bankhead that time, as he was able to put his left foot in the ground. You'll see it right here, has 2 blockers out in front, but put that left foot in the ground and was able to escape Logan Soriano and catches the corner and enough for a first down. So they'll go with Bankhead once again. This time he's stymied and he'll lose a yard. It was 1st and goal from the 8-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and goal from the 10 here as he loses 2. We've seen that with the 2 blockers a few times, with Bankhead sitting back in the backfield. Last time ABC ran that, they actually threw an interception. So now they'll go back to a more traditional set with 3 receivers on the near side. Bankhead the only back in the backfield. Blankenship will throw, has pressure, wanted to step up, and he's brought down in the backfield, sacked by Sadi Jr., who just waited and wrapped him up as Blankenship ran right into his outstretched arms. You can see it right here. Nowhere for him to go. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 13 now. If you're ABC, this is your 2nd trip to the red zone really in this half, and you haven't come away with any points so far. There's a new back in the game. They'll hand off as it's Jackson Marshall this time, and he maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll put us at 4th down and goal to go from the 8, and that'll trot out the field goal unit as John Henderson will come on to kick. Actually, excuse me, it'll be Nicholas Ward to come on and kick. Ward, who's been perfect so far on point after touch tries, will have one from just a little bit more distance here, straight away. About a 25-yarder. Kick is away, and it is no good as he hooked it to the left. And once again, ABC gets into the red zone but comes away empty-handed. And Victor Valley gets a stop once again as we take another look. Yep. Hooked it to the left, missed it outside the left upright. So Victor Valley will take over on their own 20-yard line here. As they go back to work, and still trailing by 11, so we haven't had a point so far here in the third quarter. With 46 seconds to go, Moore will throw to the outside. Potts able to catch it and then fights his way ahead for a 9-yard gain. And that's all just second effort by Potts, as he was picked up in the backfield area and just kind of ran around his man and took off from there. It's interesting, Victor Valley's kind of gone away from what worked in the first half in Edwards. As they throw here again, and it's Potts again on the outside, a little 5-yard out route, and once again fights his way forward for an extra 3 or 4 yards. Diedrich Moore was the one who had him, and it was actually the exact same play. So I said the backfield in the first play. It was actually a little 5-yard out route. Same thing here, just a 5-yard stop, and then he just drags the defensive back with him. And now a whistle for an injured player, as one of the Marauders down on the field. So we'll try and get the number of who it is. It looks like it was Jalen Harvey who came off the field. Yeah, it was Harvey, and it looks like maybe he just took a helmet right to the back. But it'll be a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, 3.9 to go here in the third quarter. So it's a first down for Victor Valley here. They'll hand off to Edwards. This time he's going to try and get around the corner. Does, still on his feet across midfield and pushed out of bounds after a big gain. Started at the 39-yard line. And it looked like Antelope Valley had it snuffed out, but able to get it all the way up to the ABC 45-ish, so a big gain, and it'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. 21-10 Marauders over the Rams here from Marauder Stadium. Founder Solari, proud sponsor of Antelope Valley Marauder football. For all your management and consulting needs, check out Founder Solari. And if you need a new car, head to Hunter Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat, Chrysler as well. And the Lancaster Auto Mall, another proud sponsor of Antelope Valley Marauder football. So we get ready for the fourth quarter here. 16-yard gain to end the third. As Victor Valley trying to start a drive here as the pass downfield over the head of LaShawn Potts. It's kind of just been a struggle today for Moore throwing the football. Had 152 yards against Palomar, which is a pretty solid number against a Northern Division squad. But today, just 71 yards passing, 9 of 19 at last check. So we'll go here on 2nd down and 10. This time they'll hand off to Edwards, who lowers his pads and picks up 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and about 6 to go. And now a whistle for an injured Ram down on the field. One of the offensive linemen down. Not sure who it was, another unrostered player. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 here. More to throw to the outside. Potts lost it, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. I'm not sure he ever had possession of it. Officials looking at it here, and they're going to say it was a reception and a fumble. Let's take another look at that. I'm not sure he ever actually had control of it. I guess he did. Kind of made a football move. It's a gain of a few. It'll bring up 4th down at about 1. So 4th and 1 here, and Rams really running out of time with 14 and change left here in the game. Need to go for it, trailing by 11. Moore will just tuck it and run, and that'll be good enough for a 1st down. Looked like a design draw play. Couple of steps back, tucked it underneath, and runs right through the middle of the open gap, right through the B gap on the right side. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams here. Right from the AVC 34-yard line. Still hand off Edwards, this time wrapped up in the backfield, able to fight back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. We'll see. No, they'll say he's right back to the line of scrimmage. Might have been Isaiah Martinez in on the first contact. It's tough to see with the pile of bodies there, but we'll go 2nd and 10 from the same spot, the 39-yard line. Moore to throw this time. Pump fakes, wanted to dump it off, and I don't think Edwards really had any chance to catch that as it was just too hot to handle, coming right at him. So it'll bring up 3rd down. Ball on the Marauder 34-yard line. Been the best drive so far for Victor Valley, and really need to try and put some points on the board here if you can, as they're going to throw. That one deflected and nearly intercepted once again. Lorflis Jr. was over there trying to come down with it as it was ripped down the sidelines towards Potts by Moore. It's been his favorite target so far today. That was the previous one, just a tough, quick throw. Potts 3 receptions, 23 yards. At last check. Edwards the same. Edwards, though, 109 yards on the ground on 15 carries. He'll be in the backfield here on 4th and 10, so a big 4th down play here. Moore gonna throw. Has to back up. We'll dump it off to Edwards. Gonna screen pass, plenty of room to run, and he'll have enough for a 1st down. So a good design here. All the pressure coming right through the middle. And credit Moore, stays in there, takes a shot from Martinez, finds the open man on the screenplay, and enough for a first down, moves the ball all the way up to the Marauder 22-yard line here. So go here on first down, pass out of the outside to Potts. He's able to spin off of a tackle and get 9 yards. Might have gotten the marker. We'll see. It's going to be about a yard short of it, but again, Potts just fighting for extra yardage. We'll bring up second down and 1. Victor Valley sustaining the drive here, trying to punch one in if they can. They'll hand off to Edwards. He's got enough for the first down inside the 10. And it'll be a goal-to-go situation here. As the spot right about the 7-yard line. And a timeout called by Antelope Valley. Try and stop the momentum here from Victor Valley, who looked stalled out for a little while, but is starting to find a bit of their rhythm here in this fourth quarter. Neither team able to score in the third quarter. Lots of punts in that third quarter, but now Victor Valley marching. They get it back to a one-score game. It's first and goal from the 7. Looks like we're just about ready to go out of the timeout here. Moore and Edwards in the backfield as they've been all day long. Bunch set on the near side. Moore to throw. Will throw towards the end zone. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Alex Gonzalez. And it was just too low for Gonzalez to handle. Gonzalez, the slot receiver on the inside here. And you'll see he gets a good route right up the middle. And again, Moore just, I think, too much mustard on the hot dog again. Throws it past him. So we'll go second and goal from the 7. Moore to throw again. Free play here as there's a flag and then another flag for a hold. So I think that play will just get completely wiped out from start to finish. I'm looking at the clock here in the building, and once again, running now inside of 11:05, despite the fact that the officials are talking about things. We're trying to get the clock fixed now. We're 2 fouls on the play. So let's say 11:07. And we'll go back to work. And it'll be second down and goal from the 7, so that whole play wiped out. And we'll go back here. Moore to throw. Has pressure from all sides, and he's brought down back near the 20-yard line. 3 Marauders there. It was Cooney on the first contact, as you can see him rip right through the middle. And actually, it wasn't Cooney on the first contact, pardon me. It was Cannon Jordan on first contact, just right up the gut. Nobody there to stop him. And it'll be third and goal from the 15-yard line, and now a whistle for a timeout. Victor Valley wants to talk about it here on 3rd and 15. As they should, that's a tough one to swallow there on the sack. Your second goal from the 7 in really good spot. A couple of downs to try and pick up 7 yards, 3 if you really wanted it. But the pressure dialed up at the right time from Antelope Valley College. Cannon Jordan, the first one there, and he had help, like we said. There were 3 maroon jerseys back there. So we'll go from the 15-yard line here. 10:31 to go in the 4th. 21-10 in favor of Antelope Valley. Moore will throw, pump fakes, now throws towards the end zone, looking towards the corner. And he just threw it almost off the soccer field lines that are painted here. Just too much on it once again. It's been kind of the struggle today for Moore. You can take a look, and it'll dial up a field goal here for Victor Valley. Carlos Garcia, who's already 1 for 1 today, will dial up a 32-yarder, kick it from about the 22-yard line. It's Moore the holder here. Snap is down, hold is there. And the kick is no good. And so Victor Valley, with their best drive of the day, come up empty-handed on a missed 32-yarder. And he missed it, and you can see it right there. Hooked it on the right upright, missed it. You see the ball went right in front of the right upright. Great look there. Thank you, Aldo. And ABC will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And so the defense, once again, does the job for Antelope Valley. They get the stop when they need it. And now they'll run the football, and it's a big hole for Bankhead, still on his feet across midfield, fights through 3 tackles and gets it all the way down to the Victor Valley 28-yard line. Huge run for Bankhead, 52 on the play, as it's a new quarterback in the game as well for Antelope Valley. Is Emery Floyd in there, and you can just see Bankhead just cuts it back and stays with it, broke 1 tackle, and then breaks 2 more as he fights ahead and gets all the way down to the 28-yard line. As they'll throw here onto the outside, and forced out of bounds was Devon Jones. Jones picks up a couple maybe here as Floyd early on the fake, but Jones able to get it all the way up to the 20-yard line, and then there was a flag. So the penalty will bring everything back. Like a hold on the outside, maybe. So we'll first and call it 13. Back at the 31-yard line. Still hand off. Nothing doing that time for Clay. As Griffin was first in on the tackle. And they'll give him 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 11. So third quarterback of the day for AVC. Floyd trying to bring the Marauders home as this one thrown just out of play as he was pressured by a pair of Victor Valley defenders. Jordan Payne, one of them. As it was kind of a jailbreak situation. It's Payne and Gibson in on the pressure. I'll get credit with a hurry. Make it 3rd and 11. Floyd will send Jones in motion. Takes the snap, wants to throw, looks down the near sideline, but it's over the head of Arias Collins. That'll bring up 4th down. So it'll bring up 4th down and 11. 8:39 here, and it looks like Antelope Valley will go for it again as they're outside field goal range. Late substitution for the Marauders. Need to get going here as now they'll just run it with Floyd right up the middle. It's not even going to be close to a 1st down, and it's another turnover on downs. Goes the way of Victor Valley as Floyd maybe got 1.5 yards or 2 yards. As you take another look, he just tucked it, and that's essentially a punt without a punt for Antelope Valley, as it'll put the Rams right about their own 26-yard line here with 8:19 to go here in the 4th. So we'll call it the 27. So 1st and 10 here for Victor Valley. They'll see if they can repeat their last drive, but just put some points on the board at the end of it. As they'll hand off to Edwards and nowhere for him to go. Couple of bodies in the backfield for Antelope Valley. Estrella was one of them. As I believe he'll be credited with the tackle, as initially on the hit it was Lorflis Jr. coming out of the corner blitz area. So call it 2nd and 12 as it's a loss of 2. Moore going to throw this time, decides better of it, tucks it, and will get maybe 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 8, excuse me. As it looked like he wanted to go down the far sidelines to Potts, who's been his favorite target so far in the ball game, but just decided to tuck it and go. So it'll bring up a big 3rd down, and we'll say 7. Potts so far in the game, 4 catches, 32 yards. Edwards, 4 catches, 35 yards. But Potts has been targeted quite a few times as a flag. And I believe motion up front is going to be the call going against Victor Valley. Officials are going to talk about it here for a second. And actually, it's just a sideline warning. So, no flag, no foul, no problems, and we'll start again from the 30-yard line here on a 3rd and 7 situation for Victor Valley. Is time starting to run short on them? 6:54 to go. They trail by 11, so you need some sort of a score. 6 would be better than 3, as you think maybe you might get the ball back one more time if you march down the field, unless you strike really quickly here. And now they're going to reset the clock to 7:04. As they'll throw here on 3rd and 7. Pass caught by Stokes. Breaks one tackle. Gets it out across the 50-yard line. And it's a good enough for a Victor Valley first down all the way to the 49 of Antelope Valley. Call it a gain of 21. Figures on the tackle. Fresh set of downs for Victor Valley. Moore going to run to his left out of the snap, and he's going to be sacked. Nowhere for him to go. A good push up front by Antelope Valley once again, as Estrella was there on the initial push. As was Jalen Harvey. Really, Harvey did all the work on the bull rush. Just knocked his man back. And it'll be 2nd and 18 here. Moore gonna have to throw. 5-step drop. Will throw over the middle. It's picked off by Ramon Huff. He'll return it across the 50, inside the 40. Still on his feet and brought down at the 30-yard line. It's an interception, the 3rd one of the day thrown by Moore. This one picked off by Ramon Huff. As you can see him just cut across the field. What a great play by Huff. In coverage, just read the play nicely, cut across, picked it off, and turned it back the other way. 1st and 10 for Antelope Valley as they'll start on a short field at the 29-yard line of Victor Valley, and a chance to really put this one away, as they've missed on their last few red zone attempts. But really good starting position here for Floyd, who dropped the football on the snap. Wanted to hand it off to Bankhead and just muffed it, really. I mean, not much you can do about it. I think he just took his eye off it, really. So it'll be 2nd down and 16. This time Floyd will keep it. Runs to his left. Now wants to throw downfield. Throws incomplete. Trying to hit Devon Jones. Interesting idea from Antelope Valley, thinking let's get a big number here and really put this one away. And it was just all sorts of pressure on Floyd. As Victor Valley read the play well. Really, there was no fooling Jordan Payne that time, who just ran right around the outside. And so it'll bring up 3rd and 16. Floyd will throw here on 3rd down. Wants to throw towards the end zone, out of the reach of Collins, and it's incomplete. So we'll go 4th down and 16. 4:38 on the clock. This time Antelope Valley going to punt. And delay of game penalty going to be called. So I'll just make it 4th and 21. And really it just gives more room for John Henderson to work. Stokes standing back right about the 3-yard line. Angle kick from Henderson, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark it out of bounds. Landed right near the 10-yard line. I would imagine it went out, that's where they say, right about the 11-yard line. So a good kick from Henderson as he'll pin the Victor Valley offense inside their own 15-yard line. So Victor Valley with 4:31 needs to get going and in a hurry, try and go 89 yards, put one on the board. Get themselves back into a position to maybe make something crazy happen here. New back in the game for Victor Valley as they'll throw here. Just some extra protection. They need a big one downfield looking for Gonzalez. And it's just out of his reach. Sam Jackson into block, did a good job to help. And more a decent throw, put it only where Gonzalez could get it. And it's a tough spot for Gonzalez as he's going against Raymond Womack, who's been a ball hawk all day today. A couple interceptions for him. Couple of receivers out to each side. More to throw. That one tipped up in the air. Coming back to make a catch. Wow, what a great catch by LaShawn Potts. Really to save an interception more than anything else. It's a loss of 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 12. Wow, Potts just took that away. It looked like a couple of Marauder bodies might have had a chance at it. Dorian Mitchell was one of them there. Lorphelis Jr. another there as well. And like I said, Potts, the only bad news is it keeps the clock running. Would have been better maybe if he just batted it down to the ground and got an incomplete pass. As we'll go 3rd and 13 here is what they'll mark it. In his end zone, Moore will dump it off. Jackson trying to find room. He dropped the football, picked up by Antelope Valley. And they'll return it back to the 2-yard line. And it's Marauder football, another turnover. So Jackson, who hasn't had many options, and he gets stripped by Lorphelis Jr. And now AVC can really put this one away with 3:30 to go. As they're up by 11, the ball spotted on the 2-yard line of Victor Valley. I think if you're Antelope Valley College here, you call 4 runs and try and put it in the end zone, just use as much of the clock as you can. Victor Valley with just 2 timeouts left. AVC will come out in that big back set. Couple of bodies in there to block. As they'll hand it off on the inside, and it'll go for a yard, and they'll be a half a yard short here. So try a sneak here. And I'm not sure they got in, as they just tried to push the pile with Floyd that time, and now they'll stop the clock as they're trying to clean up the pile here. I think he's about another half a yard short, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the half-yard line, as it was Hinton back in the game in an important spot. So another quarterback change for Antelope Valley here as they go back to Hinton to try and put this one away. As this time they'll hand off, and Bankhead will walk into the end zone untouched. And that should put this one away for Antelope Valley. Bankhead with his 2nd touchdown of the ball game. You can see the 2 big bodies just split out. Bankhead had a great block right through the middle. It was Ruben Savaria who was able to knock down his man. So a 17-point lead for Antelope Valley with 3:07 to go. Waiting on the point after. The point after is blocked. Ball still loose and covered up by AVC. And then late flags is some pushing and shoving going on. After the scramble after the play. Lots of laundry on the field. So whatever it is will likely be enforced on the kickoff. So unsportsmanlike conducts on each side. Actually, I think it's just on the Marauders, so they'll back themselves all the way up to their own 20-yard line to kick here. So Henderson will kick from his own 20. Kicks it high in the air. It'll land and go out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Maybe the 32. I don't know. I'd make him kick it again. So the ball was at the 30 when it went out of bounds. So the football should move up to midfield, and it does. So the Rams will take over at the 50-yard line with 3:07 to go. So you need a quick strike here if you're Victor Valley, if you have any hope of trying to tie this game back up. Now some extracurriculars on the sideline on the Victor Valley side after the pass was caught on the far sideline by, I believe it was Potts once again. Was able to get about 5 yards, but then everybody was over there talking to one another, and that's never a good sign. We're just waiting on it. It's going to be against Antelope Valley here, so it'll be first down. So, sportsmanlike conduct against Antelope Valley. And I'll put the ball all the way up at the 31-yard line, so important here for Victor Valley, trying to maybe get yourself back in it. You trail by 17. You need 3 scores, and quickly. Is that one thrown over the middle and nearly picked off once again by Raymond Womack, who has kind of just had the ball fall in his lap a couple of times and nearly had a third one there. Moore got a throw again here, this time caught. Smith trying to stay on his feet. Womack was there on the tackle. That'll put us at third down. Call it 4 for the marker. We're inside 2:10 to go here. It's 27-10 in favor of Antelope Valley. Touchdowns on the day for the Marauders. Hinton and Blankenship each with throwing touchdowns. Nice little run from Victor Atkins, and he gets up across the 10-yard line. And it'll be a first and goal situation here for Victor Valley. Couple of rushing touchdowns for Amir Bankhead, Carlos Hill, and Devon Jones with receiving touchdowns for Antelope Valley. For Victor Valley, their lone touchdown of the game by Kenyard Edwards Jr. Victor Valley will run this one. Not much room to go for Atkins. Inside of a minute 15. So 2nd and goal from the 8. They'll hand off to Atkins once again and brought down once again right at the line of scrimmage. Estrella on the tackle. And a whistle for a timeout called by Victor Valley with 40 seconds to go. Special thanks to Antelope Valley Athletic Director Tom Ging, Head Coach Perry Jalika, and Hunter Dodge and founder Solari, sponsors of Antelope Valley Marauder football. As the Marauders should take this one 27 to, we'll see, but should pick up the win, provided something absolutely insane does not happen, and will win their first game of the 2021 season. As we said, a solid performance in the first half. Second half, things slowed down quite a bit, but got a touchdown late after a turnover. Turnover is really the story of the ball game, as Victor Valley kind of struggled with that a little bit. A couple of 4 interceptions actually by Casey Moore, and a fumble late in the ball game that really did them in here late. They'll throw to the end zone, pass broken up. Good job that time on the breakup. I'm trying to figure out who it was. Kajante Figures was the one on the pass breakup, and it'll bring up 4th and goal from the 8. And this should do it for the ball game. It's academic at this point. It's either turnover on downs or a touchdown. That's about it. And it'll be a turnover on downs, and that should do us on the night. Quarterback keeper doesn't go for enough. Turnover on downs. Antelope Valley may have to come out and take one knee, and that will do it. But the Marauders will improve to 1-1. Solid win for AVC. As they'll look ahead on the schedule going forward. With Mount San Jacinto scheduled for next weekend. Out at Mount San Jacinto. We'll see if that one goes down. Of course, San Jacinto had some COVID problems and did not get a chance to play their opening game of the 2021 schedule. For Victor Valley, they'll be at home for their home opener against Glendale next week at 6 p.m., so a chance for them to turn things around, right the ship. But just one knee needs to be taken here, and the ball game is over. And there it is. Maybe, maybe not. No, the clock never started, and they never got the snap off. And the official, their white hat on the inside, trying to pump the clock back up. And I think they've just elected to run out the final few seconds. They did say that it was done, and that'll do it for this one. So 27-10 win for Antelope Valley College. Solid win as they improve to 1-0, and that'll do it for us here on the broadcast on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next weekend for more football. 2 weeks for more football. Thank you, Mike Cepeda. As we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great night, everybody.